Hello, third grade. Welcome back for reading. Get your reading book, and we're going to read today and tomorrow a story called Mission Over Mexico. It is a true story, so I think you will find it interesting. This is one of my favorite stories in our reading book, and I always love when we get to this part of it. So, the story begins when a large seabird crashes into their airplane. Four missionaries en route to Mexico feel sure they are about to crash. In this true story, the passengers pray and God helps the pilot control the damaged plane to make a safe landing. As a result of their incredible experience, the missionaries are able to lead 6 soldiers to Christ. So as you read this, you will find out more information about those soldiers and their salvation experience. But first of all, let's go over some new vocabulary words that you will probably see in this story. You may and you may not know what they mean. The first word is adjust it. Adjust it means to change in order to make better. Mom adjusted the air conditioner when the car became hot. Coordinates. A set of numbers used to locate a place on a map. And this word should be familiar with you because we did coordinate graphs in math, and we talked about how pilots use coordinates in order to find their destinations. The bus driver checked the coordinates on his county map. Gauge is a measuring instrument, and if you've ever seen the inside of an airplane, there are many instruments in the front there, excuse me, that the pilot has to look at to gauge where he is. Dad looked at the fuel gauge and stopped at a gas station. Cars also have different gauges. Illegal. Illegal means against the law or against the rules. It is illegal to drive faster than the speed limit. We adults know about that, and one day when you turn 16 and begin to drive, you're going to know about that also. All right, so as you're reading the story, I want you to think about this question. How is this flight different from or like one you might make here where we live? So they're flying from the US to Mexico. So as you read the story, think about how the flight is different. Also think about, why must a pilot have special skills to land on this airstrip? So as you read the story, you're going to learn where they're going to land. How is it different than when we take an airplane flight and we land at an airport? And then why Jason is one of our characters in the story. Why is Jason surprised that the island has an airport? And then looking ahead to tomorrow's section, when do you think they will make it to the missionary's house? What could possibly interrupt their mission? And then this is a true story, so I found a video clip from Mr. Pruden, who was the pilot on this plane, and I just want you to listen to what he has to say about this mission to Mexico.
In 1987, my wife and I took a mission team to Mexico. This was the airplane we were flying. It's November 37 Delta Pop. A missionary owned it at the time, and we were planning to fly into Mexico to help other missionaries. My wife had been praying that the students, the members of the team, would see God work in a mighty way. That was her prayer. So many times we just don't realize that the Lord is in control. And on this particular trip, I had 2 students in the back as well as a missionary in the right seat, and I was flying the airplane. When we were at 4,000 feet, descending to make a landing, we hit a bird. We were going almost 200 miles an hour. We were at 4,000 feet. The airplane, when the bird hit the airplane, it crushed this, we call it a spar. It broke off, and the elevator turned under. That created a lot of drag on this side of the airplane, and the airplane wanted to fly sideways. Actually, it wanted to fly sideways and nose in, and I had no control as to pitch. The controls were stuck. Now, I could turn, but I couldn't go up and down. Therefore, to react to that, I and the other pilot pushed on the right rudder. We were still wanting to turn to the left because of all the drag, and when that happened, the airplane started flying sideways. When it flew sideways, the fuel went to the outboard end of the tank. It just sloshed outward. As it did so, the engine quit. We had to switch tanks to the left tank, which only had a few gallons of gas in it, but it had enough that we could run the airplane. We were coming down at a rate of 100 feet per minute. Could not hold altitude. That was with full power. We were still losing 100 feet a minute. We were able to make it back to a small field that there were 12 soldiers guarding. And after we landed, all the soldiers came out to look at the airplane, and it was so heavily damaged that they were amazed that we were able to land it at all. They said, "You're very, very fortunate, very lucky." And the missionary said, "No, it's not luck at all. The Lord saved our lives so that I could have a chance to tell you about Jesus Christ." He said that over and over a couple times, 3 or 4 or 5 times, emphasizing the fact that we were ready to go to heaven because we knew God, and asked them if they were to die, would they know where they would go? And preached with power like I've never seen. 6 of those 12 soldiers accepted the Lord as their Savior, prayed the sinner's prayer, and asked the Lord to save them.
Okay, I hope you enjoyed that short video clip there. Just amazing how they could have died, but God spared their life, and they were able to tell 6, or actually 12 of the soldiers about Jesus, but only 6 of them prayed and accepted Jesus as their Savior. So I think you'll enjoy this story. Like I said, it's one of my favorite ones. I love, love, love when we read this. I love true stories about missionaries and their work on the field. So you can exit out of this, read the story, and then there will be a worksheet attached that you can complete and send to me. Thank you. Have a good day.